Hello everyone, my name is Dmitriy Lavrov. I'm a trader, founder of TradeUnity, and I'm glad to see you here during this stream where I will do the best for replying your questions about trading, investing and money management. Before we start, please let me know. Can you hear me? Can you see me? And we will start. Please write your feedback in the chat, and I will explain how we will work during this hour. So, as I can see, everything is okay. Just the question was during the previous two streams, there were just technical issues about just internet connection, and if it will be the same in this time, just don't worry. We know how to fix it. Very quickly. So today we are going to make just another stream. Ask me anything. Every week I'm glad to get your questions, which you can post in our Discord channel. The link to this Discord channel and the group where you can post questions for this stream. For new streams, you can find below this video in the description field. And also I tried to post, I just posted on TradingView again posts where I ask members to write questions in comments. I did it several times, and today this post was banned by moderators. So they wrote that this post is against their house rules. Okay, I agree. It can be like this, but at the same time, I did the same type of post 2 times before it, or maybe 3 times before it, and also I followed the style how other members promote their stuff using TradingView platform. As I can see, some experts and some gurus just have their special house rule. For me, I like to be banned, and TradingView, it looks like they search for opportunity to ban me, and I have a list of such issues in the past, and not all of them were so logical. So from this point of view, it looks like I need to think again, and I need to think in a good way about further cooperation and further work with TradingView, because maybe you don't know, I don't know when you joined this platform. I joined it several years ago, and I should say TradingView just was another space. It was a really interesting space where everyone can find interesting content, interesting formats, interesting stuff, educational stuff, interesting training ideas. All this content were provided by skilled traders with experience, with knowledge. And compare that variant of TradingView with the current situation, it looks like it's better to leave this space in order to keep reputation, because it's impossible to stay and to be surrounded by such gurus and such legends who can get a lot of interest from the local community, a lot of views, a lot of likes, and this type of experts, let's say like this, think and push people in the wrong direction. Maybe for you it looks like just I complain, and you don't see how strange some posts can be. But let me tell you that I know a little bit about trading, and I know a little bit about technical analysis, and I can see easily all mistakes and the quality of this type of posts. So for me, it's not so interesting to stay and try to promote something in community which is interested more in such type of content from such type of legends, gurus, and kings of technical analysis. If so, okay, goodbye. Thank you very much for your attention. See you on other platforms. Okay. The thing is, it's not my internet is slow or works not stable. It is something wrong with OBS application which I use for streaming, because it's really very strange that every stream in the beginning I have problems with connection. Just let me finish my idea. Probably I will stop posting on TradingView because it's just wasting time for me. I have a lot of other work which much more important for our premium members, for creating new type of content, for making videos for YouTube channel and so on. If you are interested in my work, you will be able to find me on this channel, in our Discord channel, on our website, all links below this post. You can subscribe to this channel just in order to get notification about new videos and new, and again connection is stable. I have a list of questions which I could copy from banned posts. If you have questions, just write them in chat, and I will pick the question from the list, the question from this chat, and provide you replies. Let me start from the list of questions. I will copy them to the chat just in order you could read them also, and we will move step by step. The first question was about what I think about high RSI. Recently from RSI we can see a clear bear signal, but the momentum right now seems still strong enough. Here we must move to the chart, and we talk about this situation when we have RSI which reached the overbought zone. And if we talk about signals from RSI, the market is overbought, and mainly from these zones like overbought, oversold, we can get solid signals confirming the reversal and the opposite direction. It works like this, but there are cases, especially when we have strong price movement, when we have strong trend movements, when lines of RSI can stay in the zones, overbought zone or oversold zone. In our example, in overbought zone for a long time. We have just very good example here. Market was overbought. RSI line gave us reversal signal. We got also bearish divergence confirming a trend reversal and downward movement. RSI line drops from this zone, but price didn't follow it and continue the upward movement. We got this huge upward movement, and again we can have the same pattern. When price can move sideways in this zone, and after that continue upward movement. And RSI can stay in the overbought zone during trends of zones like overbought, oversold, and during trends, stochastic lines also can stay for a long time in the zones. What does stochastic RSI and follow these signals? Also, we can use these signals from RSI and stochastic when in this zone, when the price moves in sideways, when we have range market conditions. When we have range market conditions, mainly you will get just lines in the zones, overbought or oversold zones, their reversal, and supporting the further movement opposite in the other direction than the previous one. So it is the perfect situation for range markets, and if we talk about oscillators, their role is for range markets mainly. So they in range market conditions they provide the most stable and the most reliable signals. When we talk about trend market conditions, it's better to use trend following and trend indicators for getting more reliable signals. Also, I want to say that the price continue from also from the list. The second question about how long I have been trading. I started trading in 2007, and now it is about I have been trading about 12 years. During this period of time, I passed through different interesting situations. I tried to a lot of things. I passed a course, education course about trading in the trading and analysis of financial markets and trading financial instruments, something like this, where I learned fundamental analysis, technical analysis, money management, and trading psychology. Also, I passed the program, education program, how to be a money manager and how to create hedge funds and manage them. So during these years, I try to do the best for getting knowledge, for getting experience, and use it for my personal trading. And for some time ago, I also started providing this knowledge and experience for beginner traders. So it is just my short story. I also posted my experience on TradingView. It was post how I started, which mistakes I made, and how I improved my trading, how I could improve my skill. So you can find this post on TradingView if you wish. Let's pick the question from the chat, and then we will come back to the list of questions. And I replied for the question about house rules. The next question was about Binance will activate withdrawal soon. Maybe we will get more volatility when they are full functional again. Finally, Ripple and Monero are also pumping. What do you think now of these two coins? Let's talk about coins. Let's talk about markets. About Ripple and about Monero. I want to remind you, if you didn't take part in the previous stream, it was Monday. It was this Monday. Every Monday we have on this channel streams about markets and trading opportunities. It is a market overview format. You can join these streams. You can find replays for these streams on this channel, and you can get more details. This time on Monday we discuss and talk about crypto only. I don't know how to add the links in the video in order you could just click and move to this video. It is the previous video, you can find it easily. If you didn't watch it, please do it. I talked with a lot of details about why Bitcoin moves upwards, which factors could support this movement, what should we do, how we should trade with Bitcoin. I talked about altcoins, some also to my mind I talked about Monero, and you can find just my vision based on the current market situation and possible trading opportunities. This video was about that video was about 1 hour and a half, and it will be very difficult to repeat everything again during this format. And I suggest to do it like this. Let's make Wednesday streams about questions for trading, how to trade, how to invest, how to manage money, and let's do Monday streams like market overviews, where you will be able to ask, especially for markets, different markets, and we will discuss during that stream. As for the question, and let me just give you some quick market overview for Ripple, which, yes, we can see a strong upward movement. It is pumping, so it confirms that we have a trend reversal signal or confirmation for possible upward movement, because here, if we talk about Ripple, and if we compare it with Bitcoin and top altcoins, which confirmed the upward movement and the uptrend several weeks ago or maybe earlier, Ripple continued the sideways movement. So Ripple moved sideways, and we could say that we didn't have the downtrend anymore, but market continued sideways movements after bouncing from I can say it is something like 0.3 the first support level, and 0.25 is just another support level, which form support zone between these levels. So market continued up sideways movement, and we could see it until now. Now we have another situation when price, we can just mark it like this is the bottom of the price channel, this is the resistance zone of the price channel, and now we can see these huge two bullish candles, which tells us about price breaks the channel, and it can be just the signal. We should be ready to see the starting and developing of a new uptrend from this. What can we do with this movement? If we talk about buying, it can be done. Again, it's not a financial advice. Only you can be responsible for your trading, and this is just only my idea. We have the market, which is not far from the bottom. Here it is. We have a huge space for the upward movement, and in spite of the market made just good upward movement, if we are talking about long run trading, it's possible to start investing based on the current levels. I would like to see, for example, like something like a correction to this resistance zone, which now becomes the support zone, and buy based on the reversal. Why I need reversal from this zone? I need to get additional signal confirming that the market has support, and the market bounces from this support. It confirms that sellers are not so strong for breaking it down and reaching the previous support zones. So this reversal pattern will be good for buying and holding. If we talk about medium-term trading, short-term trading, the market made good movement, and it's not a good idea to buy because we have good chances to catch correction movement. Also, if we talk about a proper entry in this market, the best buying zone should be here, and just the simple rule of how you should trade during range market conditions. You have to buy at the bottom and sell at the top. Buy at the bottom, sell at the top. So here we have the price reversal from the bottom, and this one reversal, this reversal, they can be used for buying. If price breaks through the borders of price channel, this breakout can be used like for another type of trading based on the breakouts. If you skipped this opportunity to buy, so this opportunity can be used again if you are ready to buy and hold this coin. As for Monero, again, I shared my ideas about it during the previous stream about market overviews. Just in order not to waste your time, again, we have another question for Ada. I didn't make review for this coin, and also let's look at this coin. And as for Binance, and if they activate withdrawals soon, well, I'm not ready to tell you exactly how it will affect on the market, because now I think we need to focus on, it's just my personal opinion, we need to focus on launching platforms and starting trading, starting getting institutional money, because from my point of view it is the most important event which can be and which can support the market stronger than just one exchange will allow to make withdrawings. So if you think this can change the market conditions, well, you need to find strong arguments for this idea. As for my arguments supporting my idea and how Fidelity platform and Back platform will affect prices, I want to remind you, I wrote a post and talk about just the title of the news where it was announced that Fidelity is going to start their platform, to launch their platform within several weeks, and it was the day when Bitcoin was below 6,000 level, and I expect the correction movement, and I wrote about it in the previous post, and it was logical to get correction movement. But after getting this news, I just a little bit changed my plan, and we saw the breakout and further upward movement to new local highs at 8,000 level. So if we talk about other, again we have the same situation, but not the same situation. We have the same upward movement pumping, but this market confirmed the uptrend if compared with the Ripple. And when price we can see and we can compare this market with Bitcoin, and why I wrote a lot of time that Bitcoin should correct the previous upward movement. The perfect Bitcoin uptrend should be like this. The strong upward movement, the correction, the upward movement, correction. So in such way we could get a stable, interesting, correct uptrend. Now we have the situation when Bitcoin just moves higher, higher and higher, and this situation becomes more and more just looks like the same we have in the previous years in 2017, when Bitcoin moved only upwards without correction, and we got a bubble. After bubbles, mainly you should be ready to see huge falling. So we have a really good chances to have to make a bubble number 2 and get the same falling. It's possible if we can get some negative news or something from some factors, or maybe someone who is a big player will decide to close long position, and we will get a correction movement, which can also become like a panic sale. So there are variants. For stable trends, we need the impulse movements in the direction of a trend and correction movements. So if markets moves like this, it is much more stable and interesting for trading. If we talk about other Cardano, we have the uptrend, and we got the correction movement after the upward movement here. So price bounced from one of support lines. In this case, it can be a simple moving averages, average with 100 period. Breakout above this downtrend line could confirm us correction is over, the uptrend is going to be continued. So buying based on these levels could be logical, and now you must have a long position which are in profit. If you didn't buy based on the breakout here, or maybe based on the reversal from possible support line here, now again you miss this opportunity. And if you miss something, if you miss a trade, if you miss a trading signal, it's not a good idea at all. Try to catch the fast train. So if you miss it, okay, you should forget it, or you should try to catch it on higher time frames, because if you skip opportunities on, for example, daily, on the daily time frame, the weekly time frame can still give you trading opportunity. The same goes about, for example, if you skipped a signal based on 1 hour time frame, probably 4 hour time frame or the daily time frame will be able to give you just another signal to join this trend. But when you move higher, when you start using higher time frame, it means you have to follow the rules of trading in a longer period of time. If you switch to the weekly chart and buy based on that signals, you will need to hold your position longer than if we talk about just the daily time frame. If you if you still want to not change your period of holding position, it's better to wait for correction and buy again based on a reversal signal from support lines, or buy based on breakout signals, like in this case when we use a downtrend line like a signal line, and breakout above it confirms the continuation of the previous trend. Another question was about just from I will send you from my list the question number 3. Just a second. And the second part is like this. So I find it very risky trading now, expecting correction, and fear of losing capital affects my decision making. What do you suggest? How should we trade when we know correction is coming? Do you think we should stay out and wait, or should we set up small gain targets and stay trading on 1 hour chart basis? Let's make it clear, because the previous reply also includes some ideas for this reply. First of all, we need to talk about not missed opportunities, and when we trade, we must think not about profit. We must think not about which signals to use and so on. The first idea is we must follow the rules of proper trading. What does it mean? It means you must have a plan for trading. You must have a trading plan. In your trading plan, there must be trading strategies which allows you to find trading opportunities and provide you trading signals. In your trading plan, there must be money management strategy which gives you replies. How much I need to invest, in which markets I need to invest, how I should manage my capital, what is my risk per trade, what is my overall the risk for all active trades, and so on. The question about how should I do if market moves in my direction, what should I do if market moves against me, and so on. Also, there must be a clear understanding for every step and every question which can be when you trade. Only after that you can think about just trading signals. If you skipped a trading opportunity, it's not the best variant at all. It's the worst variant. Just believe me. Try to catch the movement which is far from good entry level. I have a good example for you, explaining the idea of proper trading. Now let's look at the Bitcoin, and let's use some prices. We have the uptrend. What does it mean we need to trade properly? It means we need to buy in the zones where we get solid signals. We don't need to buy markets because we want to buy and just only because we want. No, we need to follow signals. There are, let's say, two types of signals. Signals based on reversals and signals based on breakouts. When price bounces from something, it can be lines of indicators, it can be support lines, it can be support levels, it can be resistance lines and levels, everything. It can be lines, levels, or zones. If price reverses from this, we can buy. We have reasons for buying. Mainly when we talk about buying based on reversals, the entry level will be just as close to the perfect level, in the perfect zone as possible. When we talk about breakouts, it means on the one hand we can get additional signal confirming that the price moves in our direction, and we join to this direction using the momentum. If we talk about reversals, you just try to predict that the price reverses from this zone. You get the first signals confirming this reversal, and you start trading in the right direction. But not always reversals can be the beginning of a new movement. There are a lot of cases when a reversal can be just like a small correction, a sideways movement, and the market won't be able to give you the space for making profit. As for breakout signals, you just get another signal confirming that the price moves in your direction. So the price bounces from something, keep movement in your direction, and gives you additional signal when breaks important line levels, again zones, and you join to this movement. For this additional confirmation, you pay just a space which you don't trade. So you lose some space, you lose some movement. For some people it's okay, for me it's okay. I would like to get just more reliable signals, but not try to get as perfect entry as possible. For some people just reversal signals can be the best one. Different traders, different strategies. And also we can't say that only these reversal signals are so cool and we must use it, or only breakouts we must use it because they are more reliable. No, it depends. Both of them are good and can be used in different strategies. When we talk about proper trading and these two types of signals, and if we look at the daily chart of Bitcoin, we can see following situation. Price bounced from the zone not far from 3000. We could use this signal for buying, and this signal could be done because of different signals, and one of these signals is a bullish divergence like this. This is the situation when peaks of charts and peaks of indicators moves in different directions. So we have a lower swing low on the chart, but RSI didn't support this movement of the chart, make the peak, the swing low of the chart higher than the previous one. So we have different directions of price and indicators, and it is a strong signal confirming a possible trend reversal. We could buy based on this signal. If you miss this opportunity and you don't buy here, so buying here was not a good idea, because your good level for buying was, for example, based on this bullish candle, which confirmed the price reversal, which confirmed the bullish divergence. So your perfect entry level should be just here. In such case, you when you trade, you need to use stop orders, just as orders which protects you if markets moves against your idea, if price moves against you. So stop orders allows you to control your risk per trade. When you open, when you have entry level in the good zone, based on reliable signal, based on the idea, your stop loss should be placed below the support level, like a variant, or below the local swing low, and your stop size is smaller than if we have the case when you decided to buy just when the price already made the move, that made some part of movement. So there are two types of, and there are two sizes of stop. The second one, when you enter in the wrong zone, your potential risk is bigger. And don't forget, in this case, if you buy here, you could use, for example, medium-term trading, and have space, have a profit target at this resistance zone, 4,000. So you have some space confirming that the price is going to bounce, and you have some space for making profit. You buy here, you fix the part of profit here. The trade looks interesting, and it is good from technical point of view, from money management point of view. It is good trade. If you missed opportunity and try to join this movement and skip this signal and buy here, so you have huge stop size, you have bigger risk for this trade, and you don't have space for making profit. So it means you open wrong trade in the wrong place, and this is a good example how you try to catch the movement which passed. Buying here, you will just do it not far from resistance, price bounce from this resistance, and here you, let's say, if you did it, you just was very lucky that the price started the upward movement and continue. There will be cases when just like this, if you buy in the wrong zone, like in this example, and price continue the downtrend, you will get huge stop loss and negative emotions. You must understand that the rules of proper trading, just how to manage your capital properly, for using stop orders, using the right signals in the right time, in the right place. It's very important, because when we trade in the long run, you need to make a lot of trades. If you make a lot of trades, it means every time you put your capital in risk field, because every trade we can be sure that the market will move in our direction. Just even there are a lot of reliable signals, we must understand that still we have opportunity that the market continues the movement against us. It doesn't matter which signal we use. So if we talk about trading, like in the second example, when we make the wrong entry level and we got huge stop, it just the variant when in the long run you will have more opportunities to make these mistakes, and this mistake will lead you to huge drawdowns, because you will have huge stops and you won't have profits just because of only wrong entry level. Or in some cases it will lead you to losing your capital, because in the long run it's just a good test how lucky you are. In the long run it doesn't work. You can win with one trade, you can win with two trades, you can win with 10 trades if you don't know how to trade and use just your intuition, when to buy and how to buy. Without knowledge and experience. For example, in 50 trades, you will have a huge chances to lose all your money because of these mistakes. So if you skip this opportunity, if you skip this buy opportunity, so what should you do? You should do nothing, because you skip this, or move to the higher time frames and try to catch this reversal based on the weekly time frame. If you don't want to do this, you just stay out of the market and wait for new market opportunities. You must understand that markets give trading opportunities always. If you miss one of them, there will be another trading opportunity. It's very simple. Another trading opportunity came to us here. We could use also the reversal signal and buy based on the reversal, and we got a new swing lower high than the previous one. We could say here probably the market starts a new uptrend. and buy here. Again, if you miss this opportunity, you shouldn't buy it higher, because it will be wrong. It will be again not far from resistance level, and so it's not a good idea. You could buy it based on the breakout above this zone, like here. Yes, in this case, as I explained before, we will have not so good entry, but it's okay for breakout signals. When we talk about breakout signals, mainly you should be ready to see higher, bigger risk size for this trade, but it's okay, because you use breakout signals mainly when we have a trend reversal, and in this case price confirmed the trend reversal, bearish trend reversal, because we got the breakout above one of the important levels, confirming the direction of trend, so moving average with 100 period. And we use breakouts, and we use a lot of space, as we expect to get a new trend. So we should be ready to see huge upward movement, and even we buy here, we can put our stop order below the uptrend line and below, for example, this swing low, and we have space for price movement, and it's okay. But it's not okay if we, for example, talk about buying. If you miss this opportunity here, and you want to join something like here, based on these levels, based on this zone. Why? Because the price already made the movement in the direction of our trade, and buying here is just not far from a case when you buy not far from the local top. Don't forget that all trend movements must include impulse waves and correction waves. Impulse waves, we got it, and after impulse waves, we need to get correction waves. So if we talk about the current market conditions, buying here, it's not the right decision at all, even we talk about any breakouts. Why? Because the market can start correction. If market start correction, we will just stay with active long position, which will be in drawdown and give you additional drawdown. So if you skip this buy opportunity, it means you need to do nothing and wait for correction. The same goes about current market conditions. If we talk about daily time frame, market made just another huge price movement, and buying now based on the current levels, you have just super good chances to catch the correction with active trades. Of course, if we talk about investing, if we talk about long time trading, for example, if your target is at 20,000 level, there is no great difference where you buy based on 6,000 level or 7,000 level or 8,000 level. You will still have huge space for the price movement. But if you look at closer targets, you will have the same situation: super huge risk size and not so much space for making profit. About if you skipped trading signals, buy signals based on breakouts or based on reversals, which can be done also here, it's better to do nothing and wait for a correction, or move to the weekly chart and try to catch this price movement based on the weekly chart frame. And I talked about it during the previous webinar, which was on Monday, and where we talk about Bitcoin and how to trade it, so you can watch it one more time. But again, the main idea is you have to do proper steps and proper things. Never try to catch this train. If you skip the opportunity, you need just forget about it and wait for a new one. Only proper trading, when you do everything correctly, when you have plan and follow it, will help you to become successful trader. Only this. In this case, yes, the market moved. Just if you buy it and made mistake and open long trend, yes, this upward movement could give you now profit. but just it's only one case. It can be 5 cases like this example. In the long run, it's just a question of time when you make a mistake and when the market moves against you and get all your profit which you could make, for example, during such lucky entries in the wrong zones, and also it can blow up your capital completely. So if you miss it, wait for a new trading opportunity. Let me just get the question from the chat. Some posts on technical analysis sounds like propaganda, and they always say, "As we told you," even if they were false. Oh, you mean not technical analysis, Trading View TV? Yes, it is really very funny. I want to say just one more thing about it. For example, if you have a product, if you have a service, if you have something which you want to sell or just promote, and the quality of this is not good, you should use only good marketing and nothing more. So just pay attention to the right things. Don't talk about weak points. Don't talk about mistakes. Show only win trades. Don't show lose trades. Just create the picture that you are really super cool and your product is amazing. Okay, it can be like this. And just from my experience, it is just my experience. When I started, I also wanted to get something cool, something interesting. I followed a lot of shitty content, strategies, videos, courses, and so on. And understand a very simple thing. If there is something super interesting, super profitable, super reliable, if it is a secret revealed, it means that you have maybe 99% chance to get the thing or product which will be far from description. When we talk about trading, when we talk about real trading, we have periods of good trades, we have periods of drawdowns, it's normal. If you provide a good product, you shouldn't be worried because you just do your work honestly, you provide a high quality product, and just these drawdowns, they can't destroy your reputation. If you have nothing behind you, if you don't know how to, if you are not a good expert in this field or in that field, and you provide just low quality product, you can't rely on the quality of your services and products or your skill. You need just to sell something, and for this you need to pay attention only on positive things, because you have nothing about besides them. And that's why when we talk about scam project, when we talk about just different sorts of scammers, you can see we have super cool win rate, we have only profitable trades, we have a really cool robot or something else, and everything looks perfectly. So it can be like a propaganda, it can be like something dirty marketing, if we can call it. It's just a part of our life, and if you want to avoid it, you just need to get experience. If you buy such products or services time by time, you will get experience, and you will be smarter next time, and you will understand what you really need to pay attention, just in order to be sure that the product is it is a good quality product and the services are good. We have such we have such situation on TradingView only because the community like it and support it. I wrote posts about how to become successful in trading, how to become a profitable trader. Try to share some knowledge and experience. Mainly these posts are not interesting for the community. People don't want to spend their time for learning. They want to get the results quickly. They want to become rich quickly. If just I can offer you, let's start working day by day. It will be hard work for learning, for getting experience, for trading, and it will give you opportunity to become a profitable trader. The other guy can tell you, okay, you will get a new Lamborghini in 1 month. Just buy this signal and everything will be okay. You will follow this guy, and it will be more interesting for you. Of course, trading doesn't work like this. Trading is not simple, and if we talk about profitable trading, you need to put real time and efforts for getting knowledge and becoming experienced trader, making your tools for trading, and spending some time just finding your personal way in trading. It's not so good if we talk about marketing, but only this variant can lead you to success in the financial markets, because you just can compare it with if you want to become a good musician, if you want to become a good, I don't know, a designer, you need to put a lot of efforts and become one of the best in order to become successful. But when we talk about trading, people start thinking in another way, and they can do it, okay, it's really simple, buy and sell, nothing more. The reality is in other place. So if we talk about trading, it looks like this. There are only some tricks and there are only some things which can make trading a little bit easier. And these tricks are, for example, to use trading signals from experienced and professional traders, like a variant. Use, for example, trading robots, like a variant. But again, if you want to develop yourself, you must get knowledge and you must get experience. There are no other ways. As for other questions about how to choose coins, stocks, instruments to trade. What should I look for in TradingView Crypto Screener? How to choose coin stocks in other financial instruments, it depends on your goals, it depends on your trading strategy, it depends on your trading plan and money management strategy. It's rather difficult to say something like you need to do this. For example, if you have you use only trend following strategies, which allows you to trade during trends, it means you need to search for markets which are in trends. If you use only range strategies, you must search for markets which are in range market conditions only. So you can pick the markets based on this criteria. There are many other criteria for searching market conditions. For example, if we talk about stock trading, why I like stock trading? There are a lot of interesting screeners which allow you to find markets which you really need based on your criteria very quickly, just in a very simple way. And these programs and this sort of software is really cool. For example, you can use you want to trade markets which make gaps in the morning during the starting trading day. This screener will find you such markets and you will be able to use them for your trading. Or you can, for example, use markets which made 5-10% of upward movement during the previous trading session, and you will get such markets. So there are many variants how to trade. But again, all these markets must be picked only based on your trading strategies and based on your trading plan, what you want to get, which markets you want to get. And you must follow your trading plan and get the markets which match your criteria. As for screeners from trading view, it's just one of a tool which can be used, but it's not so. I can find just something interesting which can be used, especially for crypto, because when we talk about crypto, we have to divide, let's say, markets first of all based on other criteria. We have Bitcoin, the main coin, which you don't need to search. You have this market, and it should be in your watch list every day. If we talk about crypto trading, there are altcoins. Let's say top altcoins, and there are other shitcoins which you can trade, but again, you can trade them based on technical analysis, and not always you will be able to find good stocks, good markets, because shitcoins, they can be new coins, they can be provided without long history, and it can be a reason why you can't use indicators for them for making technical analysis. So you will need to pick them mainly based on fundamental analysis. It will make your trading just a little bit maybe more complicated, because not all markets can be traded in crypto, and at the same time the screener from TradingView, it's not so flexible like screeners from traditional markets like stocks. So you can just try to maybe search for simple criteria like the market which increase in volume, the market which made the previous X% of movement in upward in your direction, and you can just trade only these markets, investing in them, or using maybe some trading strategies for this. It depends on you. As for another question, this time I will pick from the list, because there is this question can be helpful for you too. Again, just a second. I will copy it to the chat in order you could see it. Just a second. It will be also from several parts. So the question is, I would like to ask you one tricky question. Which time view would you suggest as default view? That means when you open trading view, which time scale should show up first? I'm experimenting. Currently I have 15 minutes as default, but it looks like I will have to switch to larger, 30 minutes or 1 hour. I know that answer to this question depends on trading style. Let's assume that I want to be a day trader, like in these movies. Like in the movies. Okay. The thing is, even if you are a day trader, you have to use just the main chart for you. It should be the daily chart. It doesn't matter which market you trade. If we talk about technical analysis, and if we talk about trading based on technical analysis, and you prefer to use short periods charts, you need to start from the daily time frame. For what? The daily time frame will give you information about important levels, important price movement, possible price movements, about market conditions. You have trend market conditions, you have range market conditions. You will get information about possible interesting zones for buying, for selling, and only after getting this information you will need to switch to your workable time frames. If you, for example, use even 5-minute charts, you will need to look at the daily time frame first of all and follow the information from the daily time frame. Lower time frames, your workable time frames, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour minutes, 1 hour charts, 4 hour charts. You will use just for getting exact signals and opening positions, following the directions and market conditions from the daily time frame. If we talk about long-term trading, where your daily time frame is a chart for your work and for certain signals, it will be better, for example, to look at the weekly time frame and get the same information, the main information about market conditions, about possible direction movements, about important lines, levels, and follow it using the daily chart and exact signals. Or also you can add the monthly chart for your weekly trading or your daily trading. Just possible mistake can be you use 5-minute charts, 15-minute charts, and use 1 month chart for getting the right the main information. No, it will be wrong, because a higher time frame will give you the information for a longer period of time. And for example, it can be a situation when you use when you have let's say the uptrend based on the weekly chart and based on your 5-minute charts and based on the daily chart time frame, you can just opposite direction and you still can use it. And it will be okay, because higher time frame will need more time for reversion, for change in direction. So it will be good and will be it will be okay. But if you have a huge space between your just default not default, let's call it like before your between your first time frame, which you have to look at it, and your workable time frame, so the less information will be useful for you. So if we talk about the daily trading, you must use the daily time frame. It's just the main thing. If you use, for example, 4-hour time frames for opening and closing trades, for getting signals, or 6-hour charts, it's possible to use daily time frame and weekly. So you will, in this case, you will need to start from the weekly time frame, then move to the daily time frame, and then search for signals based on 6 or 4-hour charts. This method of trading, this principle, you can read with more details when we talk about trading based on multiple time frames. And one of the best work which you can read and better understand the idea of such trading based on different time frames, you can find it in books of Alexander Elder and his trading strategy, like free screens. It can be called like this. So you can find it in using Google. It is a famous strategy, it is well-known strategy, and this strategy was proved by time. About So there were a question about markets. Let's move them for the stream about market overviews. Now let me pick the question from the chat one more time. Will he only answers questions you sent, or will he look at the charts as well? From Lucas, if you mean how we work during such type of streams, ask me anything. I just repeat one more time. In our Discord channel, which is free, where you can get also 2 free courses from Trade Unity, there is a group, Ask Dmitriy Anything. In this group, if you have questions during the week, you write them there, and preparing to a new stream, I pick the questions from that place. You can also send me question if you are a member of Trade Unity. You can send me any question in Telegram, and I also pick them, put in the list, and use these questions for the stream. Also, I try to make a post on TradingView where you could post questions below this post. But this post was banned, and I won't do the same next time. So there will be only one opportunity to ask question. Visit Discord channel, visit the group, ask Dmitriy Anything, and leave your question there. Another question from the chat will be about Monero. Okay, let's look at it. Also make a quick market overview. Sorry. Let's do it based on Kraken prices. We have the market, which also confirms the upward movement, the uptrend. Again, the market made a good upward movement, if we talk about it. And still, if we talk about proper trading, it's better to wait for a correction. It can be like the zone at 60, because this zone will be good for buying based on the reversal signal. We will have combination of 2 support lines represented by moving averages with the 100 period and 200 period. The reversal based on this from this zone, or from the zone like this 70. So the zone between 70 and 60 level, it will be a support zone, and the reversal from this support zone will be good for buying if we talk about proper trading. If we talk about buying based on the current prices, again, let's move to the weekly time frame, and if you are ready to hold this position for maybe many months, for maybe more period of time, you can use the daily time frame as you can use, for example, why we can use daily time frame and buy. Again, this trade won't be so perfect, as we could get this opportunity based on the breakout, based on the reversal signal from the daily time frame. If we talk about weekly chart, we can use the breakout above this small local swing high as a confirmation for the market, for the bullish market, and we could use this signal for opening position based on the weekly chart. Again, in order to have the space for profit, you need to put your profit targets at important previous resistance lines levels, like this one. It can be 175, this swing high 275, this one 375, probably this one 450. So if we talk about such long targets, buying based on the current levels, it will be not far from the better entry level based on the breakout, but still it will be possible, because you have the main idea. You have huge space for the price movement. If you don't want to hold in the long run, and if you don't believe in this market, so you will need to skip this trade and wait for correction, and wait and buy only after correction based on the reversal signals. Nothing more. As for the question, will it reach 500 levels? It will depend on different factors. It will depend on just the project and the whole crypto project, how it will be developed during the next months. If we have support, if institutional traders and companies join to Bitcoin trading and crypto trading, it will be like a positive news for the crypto, and of course altcoins, Bitcoin will try to reach the previous all-time highs. It can be do. How much time it will take? It will take, I should say, nobody knows. Nobody knows, because nobody knows the future, and not all crystal balls can provide you just reliable information. That's why the long-term just prediction, it's not so reliable in its basis. It's better to get signals. It's better to follow signals, to use the previous important levels, swing highs, for drawing important resistance levels, and put your targets at these levels. Trading is simple if you know how to trade, if you know how to use tools, and if you follow these simple rules. Nothing more. The question was also about what will happen. The question from the chat. What will happen with the altcoins when Bitcoin goes through the correction? For example, Cardano. Will it go higher or lower? First of all, we have to follow just this simple idea. Bitcoin it is the main coin of crypto. Other altcoins are correlated with Bitcoin. We have strong correlation between them. It means if Bitcoin moves upwards, mainly we should expect that altcoins will move upwards also, because we have positive news and people buy based on positive news. If Bitcoin falls, it means we have negative news for crypto, and Bitcoin falls, altcoin falls, Bitcoin, and everything falls. That it can be a case if, for example, we have a positive news for Bitcoin only. This positive news can be like we have now. Let's say, if we talk about institutional traders and institutional companies, they will trade only Bitcoin. For them, there are no other altcoins. So they will invest in Bitcoin, and it can support the Bitcoin. Other traders from crypto community can probably they would like to join the main movement from Bitcoin, and they start selling altcoins and buy Bitcoin. It will give us just a situation when Bitcoin will continue the upward movement, and altcoins just maybe continue the following Bitcoin, but not so strong. There will be upward movements, not so strong like with Bitcoin. We can get a sideways movement, or some altcoins can start falling. It will depend on how many people will start selling altcoins in order to buy Bitcoin. Now we can't say it exactly. we just need to watch for the market and follow the signals from the market, follow the signals from indicators, and make analysis based on the current market conditions and follow it. As for the variance, when Bitcoin will start correction, it will be like a case when Bitcoin falls. There are not so many positive. Altcoins also start falling. So I would like to expect such behavior of altcoins, and it will be such movement of altcoins will be logical, because we have Bitcoin, it is the main market, and altcoins correlates with Bitcoin. The next question is about do you think altcoins will start retrace now? A lot of coins such as ZIL, LTC look like they are ready to cross over on the daily timeframes MACD. I don't understand the question about MACD because MACD will show you different signals for different markets. Just like an example, let's switch to Bitcoin. Let's look at Litecoin. Let's look at the Litecoin using, for example, just a second, using Bitstamp. Prices, daily chart frame. First of all, Litecoin continues the upward movement, so MACD supports this. If the market, if we talk about altcoins, any market which can't break the resistance line, probably you will get MACD supporting just a possible correction movement. It will depend on exact market. If we talk about again the retracements, I would like to say that Bitcoin is not far from again a new resistance zone. This resistance zone is based on 8,000 level, resistance level. It is round number level. For different markets, round numbers are important. They can be used like support levels, they can be used like resistance levels. Sometimes they are really workable and really stable and solid. Markets bounce from them. Also, we can add another level just in order to use this swing high. We can say that in this swing high, we can say that price bounces from 8,000 level also, because this upward movement we can describe like a false breakout, and price try to break important level and bounce, continue the downward movement. But also we can just add another level which won't be so maybe important, and use this level like additional one, and the space between these two levels, as they are not far from each other, we can just call it like a resistance zone. So price is not far from this resistance zone. We had a good upward movement. It was done based on we can't say exactly based on what type of news. Just I think it can be based on just news about institutional traders and platforms for crypto trading. It can be another type of news. It doesn't matter. If, for example, we talk about technical analysis, for us it doesn't matter any news. We can use only technical analysis. Based on technical analysis, we have the price which is not far from resistance zone, and bouncing from this zone will be really logical. and the market can continue the retracement to 7,000, 6,000, or maybe lower. It will depend again how strong will be this downward movement. It will depend on traders' reaction on this falling. It will be also depend on news which will be during this falling. It will be difficult to say where the market stops. But again, Bitcoin continues. If Bitcoin continues correction, I would like to see also the falling of all possible altcoins. Maybe some again, if we talk about pairs where we have coins against Bitcoin, the movements can be different. If we talk about coins, fiat currencies, I think we should be ready to see the falling too. About and the same goes about MACD behavior. If the market starts falling, MACD will support this movement, and MACD will provide bearish signals too. Because what is MACD? MACD it is just an indicator which is calculated based on the prices. If prices moves upwards, MACD will support this movement. If if market starts falling, MACD starts calculating based on bearish candles, and it also starts confirming the downward movement. All indicators, let's say just the great number of indicators, they are lagging and they follow the price. Only, let's say, we can talk about trend lines and levels, which can tell us, let's say, the future. All indicators just tell us about the past. But we use indicators in order to get the understanding of possible market movements in more simple, and if we talk about just the visual part, in simple variant, possible direction of my market movements, possible market conditions, and so on. But they don't predict the future. As for the other question, let's talk about Stellar market, which is also we can say that this market just starts the upward movement. It just break the downtrend line, and this downtrend line could be, let's say, if we talk about the daily chart, and if we talk about long-term trade, long-term trade, the most solid trend, some traders can use 100 moving average for just understanding the direction of the main trend. Some traders can use 200 periods, so it depends on your trading style. But let's imagine, even if you you want to get the all possible signals confirming that the market starts the upward movement, you need also to wait for a breakout above moving average based on long period, like 200. And now we have the same situation. First of all, the price broke the downtrend line, and it confirms that if we had the downtrend, now it is over. After this breakout, we should expect for sideways movement or the beginning of a new uptrend. If we talk about confirmation for the uptrend, we can use this price movement like swing low, swing high, swing lower, higher than the previous one. The simple, it will be better to show using the weekly chart. So I will zoom it. It will be better to see it here. If we talk about the weekly chart, we can see this swing low, swing high, swing low, and if price will break this high and make new swing high, higher than the previous one, we will have the combination of swing highs and low confirming the uptrend. So if we talk about long run trading, we can use this breakout above this level. It is 0.14, let's say like this, this swing high, like a signal confirming the starting of a new bullish trend, long-term trade. Use this breakout for buying and just holding for a long period of time. And if we talk about the daily time frame, again, it's better to wait for a correction and buy based on lower levels like 0.10, 0.11. It will be better to trade like this because we will buy based on reversals not far from the perfect zones, and the stop and risk level will be risk size will be lower than if we use breakouts. As for, I had also the question from Discord channel, and this question was about this question. First of all, just I draw your attention. Here is our Trade Unity Discord channel group. It is free, as I told you. You can join it easily. You can find the link for joining below this video. Here is the group where you can ask questions, and the questions was about from Rushi. I would like to ask on difference between trading and investing in terms of money management and risk management, and does rules of investment changes as per the type of financial markets. First of all, the difference between investing and trading, mainly it is about the period of time. When we talk about investing, we should be ready to invest. If we talk about proper investing, we should talk about periods, just years. You know Warren Buffett, and it is the perfect case of investor. He invests and holds shares for years, 5 years, maybe 10 years. When we talk about trading, it's just a shorter period of time. Yes, we can divide trading into short-term trading, like scalping, intraday trading, medium-term trading, swing trading, trading in the long run, but this long run will be probably based on several months, but not years. It is just the first difference between trading and investing. The second one is when we trade, we can just trade buying and selling. When we talk about investing, mainly it is just something like the most simple strategy. We have buy and hold. So you buy stocks, you buy coins and hold them in the long run, waiting for their growing in price, and it will be your investing. If we talk about difference between money management and risk management, it doesn't matter because it will depend on your personal risk level, which can be acceptable for you. It will depend on how many markets you use, how many markets in your portfolio, and what strategy you use. So from this point of view, it doesn't matter. Crypto market, stock market, there will be only difference. Do you use leverage or you don't use leverage? But when we talk about investing, mainly you can't use leverage because fears for using other money from brokers, fears can be huge during the years, and you will get nothing from this trade. But when we talk about trading, you can use leverage, you can use trades without leverage, and the risk level will be different. For example, if we talk about investing, we can afford just buying Bitcoin and making trading portfolio 10% for one trade for Bitcoin, 5% for Ethereum, 5% for Litecoin from your deposit sites, and it will be okay. But when we talk about leverage trading, 10% from your capital, it will be huge risk. When we talk about leverage trading, mainly you need to follow just 2% per trade, 1% per trade risk, and it is the difference. It is the main difference. Another question was about I don't know, but this gets me really confusing. I want to trade besides of my long position with a little margin leverage trading. So, for example, I open a leverage trade with X5, my position gains 20%, so I close it. But now I have USD and not BTC, because I have to trade it to XBT against USD on Kraken. So how do I get my BTC on Kraken bags filled with mine gains? The question is rather complicated for understanding. I just try to reply how I understood it. And if we talk about just this model of trading, I think there is no difference as we talk about just different labels. On Kraken we have XBT, on other exchanges we have BTC. Somewhere it can be maybe they can call it in different way, but the idea is the same. You have your deposit in fiat money or in bitcoins. In order to make profit, you need to if you have position in BTC against USD, in order to fix profit, you need just to sell part of Bitcoin or the whole position, and you get profit. You will be able to fix profit. That's all. That's simple. And just one more question about. I guess I already replied on this question from the chat about where. How to choose coin stocks and instruments to trade. I replied on this question during and pick it from the chat. So we I think it's time to finish our stream. Just I want to say one more thing. If you want to take part in such type of streams, please, and if you have questions, it's better to ask them using Discord channel and this group, Ask Dmitriy Anything. Write your question about trading, and I will provide replies during the next stream. If you have questions about different markets, it's better. I really advise you to take part in streams every Monday. I make market overviews for different markets, for crypto, for stocks, forex, commodities, and it's better to ask questions about markets there. It will be more logical. I also want to tell you that like Trade Unity, we are going to start a new trial package period for members who hesitate should they join to us or not. We will be able to provide you trial periods, maybe 1-2 months. It will depend based on different factors, and we will talk about it later. But now we are searching for testers who will start testing this trial period, who will be able to get 3 months as access to our academy, our courses, our charts, trading signals. If you want to become such a beta tester, please visit our website tradeunity.com and use the support form from the main page and send just a message that you would like to take part in this testing of trial period. Our admins and support managers will contact with you and provide you more details how to do this. Also, if you want to follow me, I just advise you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will provide more videos about trading. We will provide we provide streams every week, 2 times per week. I hope they will be much more interesting and better based on just quality of streams. Also, it will support us and it will motivate us to, if we see your interest to what we do, it will be a good motivation for us to do more and more. As for TradingView, if you prefer to follow me only on TradingView, probably in some time I will stop sharing my ideas and any posts, because this place becomes not the right place for such type of content which I want to make and I want to promote. I want to promote the rules of proper trading. I want to show you the real trading with real results, with profitable trades, with lost trades. I want to show you real trading as it is. Such type of content is not interesting for the majority of people on TradingView, and for me, maybe it's not a good idea to waste my time and focus on other things. So if you want to follow me still, it's better to do it in YouTube, in Discord channel. And thank you very much for taking part in this stream. Thank you very much for your questions. See you next week. Have a nice evening, have a nice day, have a nice and profitable this week also. See you next time. Bye bye.